the most brutal radio in your internet.
Rock&Roll Nation. Rock&Roll Nation.
Okay, hello everybody, I'm Matt and you're listening to the second live episode of Rock&Roll Nation on Mordor Radio, live on Mordor Radio. I'm so happy that you're with me today, and let's start with the first topic. The first hour we will spend with my special guests, because I've decided to invite my friends with whom I'm cooperating, who I know for some time, and I'm so happy to share their music with me. I really hope that everything would work properly, because it was quite tough to do this in this software, but please welcome Jerry of Aethernum, not only Aethernum.
Hello, what's up guys? How are you doing?
Jerry is not only from Aethernum, but that's his main project by now, I assume?
Yeah, Aethernum is now my, main project to say the least. But yeah, I do have some projects beside it. For example, I play right now in Havenward as a bass player. And I love those guys. Jesus, I recommend them to everyone. Such a nice people and such a nice project and music. It's like Disney metal or something. But to be short about it, it's Havenward, of course, Aethernum, as you said, and I love my cooperation with Ardian Wachowski in Now Here. It's rough and really heavy music, close to death metal, gent, all the good and crazy stuff. And for more sophisticated tones, I did some bass for the solo project, but not mine, but Jakub Werder for Jakub's Werder solo project, which is called J Cube, as far as I'm concerned, and he even did few singles with me. Rest of the bass he recorded on his own, but yeah, and also some bass in Ectopia.
Yeah, we've played Ectopia a week ago, but I think you weren't there as a bassist, yes?
Yeah, yes, that bass was recorded by, I think, everyone at the current state of band was back then. What I recorded bass on is an EP called Madness that is going to be released sometime soon, probably.
And I really hope that I'll be able to play it here live, but when it comes to Ectopia, maybe next time. But let's start with Aethernum. Let's start from the beginnings. How did you came up with Aethernum? Why Aethernum?
Oh, Jesus. That's a tough question. All the journey was pretty much luck, I think, because I just got a pretty nice prospering band. It was called Komandos. You actually mentioned it in previous broadcast, so yeah. Things happen. A lot of things happen. And at the end, I was like, we are trying to change the formula for something different, for something more, I think, modern, I guess, but still in the realm of heavy metal music. So yeah, and we were all thinking about the nature of this music. I was writing then a lot of material ahead, so we were thinking about the next material, the next songs that will be released, not maybe the Just Colors that I released in December of previous year, but yeah, and we are thinking of something like ether, like etheric, something like that, but also at times monumental, and I guess eternal, and it was like melch of all these words, like ether, eternity, and monument, Aethernum. So it's a pretty silly wordplay, but I think it works.
Original combination. Really sorry if I'm quite quiet, but Windows is trolling me all over the whole day, so
Yeah.
I have 88% of volume, later I have 97, I've just put 97 and now I have 87, so I have sincerely sorry for all my problems and difficulties with my volume, but Jerry is the star today, so
Hope you'll have amazing time with our software difficulties. But yeah.
okay, so to talk a little bit about music, let's use this break to play the first track, Afterfall. Could you tell something about it?
Oh Jesus, it's an old one. Holy moly. It's really old. It has it's already 7 years probably when I wrote it. It was, oh Jesus, such an innocent time. And well, yeah, I was just trying to write some, I think I was back then trying to write some ambitious heavy metal. Right now when I look at it, I'm like, it kinda is. It's technical rather. I think it's technically ambitious and on a technical level. But when you think about it on a composition, well, as you probably know, I'm a big fan of prog metal music, bands like Periphery, Haken, and they have they have complicated songs in a structural way. So, yeah, I guess it's it's really wholesome song, even though the theme of it is rather, I guess, on first step of the lyrics, it's pretty depressing, man fallen, and he's trying to get up and live again. And that basically sums up all the lyrics in the song. But yeah, and what can I say more?
We
he
can
was
add
trying
some trivia. That's
yes.
at the early stage of the song, when you were performing it as Komandos, you had a quite nice intro there.
Oh yeah! Oh Jesus! I almost forgot about it. Yeah, it was Balser's idea. He thought that it would be so great and so funny to play Eiffel 69 and Blue. I'm Blue. And yeah, oh Jesus, that's an old gag. Oh my God. But yeah, it was fun.
So let's listen to Afterfall, and during this song I would really try to do something with my microphone. Okay.
Yeah, I will try.
Alright, Aethernum Afterfall for you.
So deep into my grief I go.
technical difficulty sport 2. Something is wrong with my background music, so sorry for silence. I don't know what's happening right now. I've added one option to my microphone and I really hope it would help, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, let's crank it on.
Yeah, so continuing the topic with Komandos. Most of these songs that you put on studio album and later on an EP from this year were written some time ago. Lots of these since during the Komandos era. So what happened that the Komandos thing went to Aethernum, and what happened that the band went from the band to the solo project?
Well, that's, as I said already, it's a long story, but yeah. At first, I was just part of the band, Komandos, as a vocalist, and I think I was pretty fortunate, and getting into details. It was a lot of changes in a group of members, and first big change occurred when we got some problems, like personal, pretty much, and then I became a bass player. But in the time running of this band, I was trying to like get along with the boys and trying to write some material for them. Yeah, me and the boys, and I was trying to write some material to like better get along, because I thought back then, and I think that to this day, that if you're part of the band, it's good that you work for your place in this band. Back then, I think I was rather more ruthless about this, and I don't think that was a good idea, but I still think that it's good to like work for your place in a band in a more positive and not so stressful way. But yeah, I still claim that. And what I think, at first I was writing pretty terrible songs. Yeah, I have to show you sometime the demo and the guitar profiles that I did for them. It was pretty shit. I think I should find them sometime. But yeah, and then came better songs. For example, I think Afterfall was second one. First one was the Light Run, which I didn't release yet, and I don't know if I will, because I shifted a little bit with my music taste. But I digress. So yeah, first was Afterfall, as we already said. Heart of Steel actually wasn't my song. It was sung by Mateusz Zadroga, but again, trying to get to the point. I'm trying. I'm so shit about it. But yeah.
We should talk for like, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours, not 2 hours.
Yeah, dude, totally. That's the exact reason. People are so pissed that my podcasts are so long. They're like 2 hours each, or more than 2 hours actually. About Just Colors was 2.5 hours long. And Jesus, I didn't include so many things in there. Jesus Christ. But yeah, you were talking about like shift from Komandos to Aethernum. As I said before, it was trying to be more modern, because I thought Komandos was really fun band to play, but they had pretty bad marketing in my opinion. And like, I wasn't very cool with what they did with their music. I mean, it was fun to play, but it wasn't like really, it wasn't cool, I guess. And I really thought back then that, yeah, music have to be like cool, like technical, like impressive. Right now I'm just like, nah. But back then I thought this way, and I think Aethernum was like this was like this childish thing actually, like thinking that, oh yeah, that Komandos thing is, oh, that's so cringe, oh my god. Oh Jesus, wait, what? That Komandos
technical problems.
Yeah.
Oh,
Shit.
now I
Okay.
have my support sound.
That's good. That's actually pretty
That's
good.
a great day. Sorry for that.
Yeah, it's such a day.
And I've just realized that while you were talking about the Komandos Aethernum, we've just played
Yeah.
Heart of Steel. I have no idea why. It was just like autoplay. So yeah.
What the hell?
Okay. So the next thing when it comes to our songs, I have spiders on my playlist. So let's talk about this song because it's quite long, advanced, and one of the newest when it comes to Just Colors.
Yeah, it's quite new, though it's still really old. But yeah, it's quite new. Actually, if I would surprise you, but yeah, the newest song actually was The Priest. I wrote it like in beginning of 2018. But yeah, about spiders. It got, I think, modified a little bit over time and changed. For example, like I thought about, we were playing back then with the vocalists, female vocalists, and when I changed it to solo project, I had to record all the vocals on my own, and I thought, yeah, that's fair enough. Male vocals will actually suit this songs much better. Also, Jacek Kledo, I don't know his last name, but yeah, he said also that yeah, male vocals would be better. And about spiders, yeah, it's a heavy song. It's like, because Just Colors is like a man that's at first he's like really optimistic, ambitious, just like me. Ambitious, optimistic. He's like going to change the world with his music, and he's like the priest. He's like a tough man. He's like going above and beyond, and slowly the story is like grounding him in this reality, and with some realizations that yeah, world is tough, and it's really hard to find yourself. And Before the Spiders is a song Beyond the Sea, the Division. That's exactly like the beginning of that dark period, really dark period. And Spiders is about, like, at first when I talked about it with my brother, he thought that it was about others, that spiders in this song, the so-called, they're like other people trying to being like toxic to you, like you have toxic relations with other people. But in reality, spiders are thoughts in your own head, like overthinking, like grim, dark, depressive things, losing hope, losing faith in all the world around you, and it's like trying to fight, like a statement that yeah. They are grim, they're dark, but I'll fight. Like in the chorus is like, take your hands from me. But till I die, I'll scream in fury. Take your hands from me, and yeah. And also, if a little just pinpoint that the main riff, it. Like, I didn't notice that. Actually, my friend noticed it, Marcin Z. Kazimierczak, that
Cheers,
playing
guy.
it, yeah, cheers to this guy, dude, he's so amazing. And he's probably listening to it and like laughing his ass off. But yeah, he pointed out that playing this riff on guitar made your hand look like a spider. And there are two riffs like that make your hand look like a spider, which I thought also was like really cool and really funny points to mention about this song. Like everything in this song clicks. It's about spiders, and it perfectly does so.
So just click it and play the spiders.
Yeah, just click it, dude.
Just for you.
my mind inside fear and shame. Looking with so many eyes, they wanna see through me. To bend to crush me down, to let nothing remains. They seek for all my happiness, for all these stories. To make another sacrifice for goddess of despair.
technical difficulties next part. just joking. It's a Rock&Roll Nation in Mordor Radio, and I'm here with Jerry of Aethernum, and we were listening to Spiders from Just Colors, the album from 2020, and we've heard the female vocalist. Who is she? Let's start with this.
Actually, there are two of them, and the first one is Wiktoria Wodyczko, and I'm actually getting back with her to cooperate on the next album that I'm working on, that will be done not sometime soon, but it will be done, I promise. And I hope I'll release it like probably the end of this year. And about her, well, she's an amazing person, and well, I love her, and I hope that she'll deliver me again phenomenal vocals, because I love her voice. It's so good. And she's my old friend, like from childhood. We've known each other for like 11 years right now. It's nuts for me. It's nuts because I don't have many friends from like that age for that long. Oh Jesus, that's actually nostalgic. And yeah, there's also a second one. It's Adela Kamińska, and she's I met her at University of Warsaw choir, but like for the biology one, I think. I don't remember the name right now, but yeah, it was like and at first I met her, she was like the supervisor right there, and also she was a voice, one of the voices in this choir. And I asked her if I actually got along with her, and asked her if she would deliver me some vocals for the next for this first album and the EP, because well, I released both of them, but back then I was actually in the middle of mixing with. Back then it was. I ended up my cooperation and mixing with Robert Wawro, and started working with Oakvale Productions, Konrad Janiszewski. And when I was mixing with him, I thought that it would be so cool to add some like opera-based vocals to this song and to the next songs, to the next EP. Because back then I was working on an EP, starting to work on an EP, but I was also closing the LP. And I asked her, yeah, you could probably do something here in the chorus. And yeah, she did. And amazing job. Also, she has perfect pitch, so it was really easy to work with her, and taught her some complex harmonies. And she was like, yeah, I can remember that, easy. And yeah, that's my story. And well, about female vocals in general, I'm a huge fan. I love it. And well, I love it probably because I listen to Devin Townsend a lot, and Anneke that is singing for him on his albums from, I think from Addicted, album Addicted to every another one. Yeah, she has a voice. She has such a voice, and I thought, yeah, man, I want some female vocals in my own music. That would be so cool. And first idea in Spiders was actually from. I think it was from when we were playing with Paulina Szatan-Jankowska, and we were just thinking about some roleplay in the Spiders. So it was like I was singing the first verse and she was singing second verse, and I think I was singing first chorus also, and we were both singing second chorus, and that was cool. We thought that would be cool to change and like mix the two vocals, or do some like role play almost, I think. And though I'm not getting along with her, I'm still friends with Paulina, but she gone her own way, and she's like playing blues with some live gigs. She's playing some blues live gigs with some little like band of her. And well, I had to find my own way, and other voice and other voices. So yeah,
Okay,
I did.
so going to the, I don't know, going to the shore. I don't know if this is translatable.
Yeah, to the point. Cut to the chase, right?
To
Cut
the
to the
point.
chase.
Yeah. Just colors. Why just colors? Why colors at all? Because there's no track called Just Colors. It's mostly when you have an album, you just mark it as a one of a song, but not in this particular one.
It was actually I think it's like a concept album, but not really. And it was like at first, and I'm actually talking about this in my podcast. It was actually called at first Awake to This World. It was meant to be called this way because of like the priest, and there's exactly the line, awake to this world to carry your will. But gradually, when I was working on this album, I felt like a little, back then I was feeling a little, actually not a little bit, I was feeling actually a pretty honest burnout from playing music, from dealing with people in this industry. It was really tough for me, and like slowly, gradually, the idea that this album was about ambitious things, about ambitious priest that was doing this all crazy, amazing things, and slowly I felt like actually it wrote itself. It's like the priest is going slowly to like the situations from beyond the sea, where he's facing war against reality, and spiders, he's overthinking, like depressive episodes, I would call it, and stronger about like uncertain future and I guess moments of peace, but like it's uncertainty in most of it. So I slowly thought about this album like, yeah, it is what it is, and it's not really ambitious, it just is. And then I thought what it is, and it, without like, well, thinking a bit of it like not in a very, what's the word, I think like what, ambitious, like bombastic, like these things. No, I thought about it like, no, it's just some decent heavy metal. It's just colors. It's every song for me had a color on this, and it was like from working on this album with the band, like I slowly grew a bond in me to like thinking about them as colors. Like Priest was gold because he was the priest, he was the ambitious one. Memories of Time was green because I thought of it like about grass, about like being with friends, summer, not really like connected to the reality. Angel is red. It's like that song about the angel, about the war, and about this, but war in much more positive way, in like fighting for a good cause. And Symphony was yellow because I think I thought about it like a yellow moon, because it was about wolves, about friends holding together like a pack of wolves. And Beyond was blue because, well, beyond the sea, that's the color, yeah. And yeah, and Spiders was black. It's like the most grim, the most dark and heavy episode, so only black could fit in. Or maybe I would call it black and white, maybe, which is my aesthetic for whole Aethernum thing. But yeah, Spiders was yeah, roll
Just making
credits.
names, don't mind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I thought about it like this. This is like roll credits. It's like end of audition, but yeah, end of broadcast. But yeah, and the last song, last two songs actually, which is Stronger Force and Hubble Telescope. They're like purple, like, you know, like the sky, or maybe like space and time, but from this like Hubble telescope imagery, and they're like exactly like purple, like those strange colors of this like nebulas and stuff. Jesus Christ. And yeah, that was simple correlations, which I gave meaning like a little bit later, I guess. And yeah, I thought it tells its own story, but also though it tells its story, it's just colors. It's nothing really important, nothing like groundbreaking. So yeah.
Okay, and speaking of the discography, because we are talking about the album, I would like to talk with you because these stories are so interesting, and I'm really into it because I'm quite a part of it, because I know you and Komandos stuff since 2016-17, so
Yeah,
I've
a
been there.
long
I've been there.
a long time, yeah.
And
Yeah.
when it comes to the discography, not only just Colors, but you've also released some time ago an EP aside from City, and if I can describe it, it's something like when you have expanded deluxe editions to albums. I think that would be the CD number 2, because these songs are we've just played it for so some songs from it already,
Yeah.
and these songs
Yeah.
are just older. Yes, is the just like
Yeah.
you'd like to call it Just Colors 1.5.
Yeah, actually, yes. You actually described it really freaking well. Actually, better than I did. Yeah, it was some old material that didn't land on Just Colors. And it's like, I would call it an not album on its own. It's an intermediate album. It's like the genesis of it is like, it was an experiment for me, because I was switching from a band to a solo project, and instead of working like with my mates on a more democratic sphere, we were like changing to like, yeah, this Aethernum thing, it's my playground, I like it this way, I just have like attention span of a freaking mice, so I have to make music quick so I wouldn't get bored of it. And if you guys can like make up with my pace, with my like tempo, I guess, then yeah, you will get along. And yeah, back then I was just left with Mateusz Balcerkiewicz and Sebastian Ciciera, and they said like, hell yeah, man, let's go. And yeah, I got Alec Chocholski to it, my also another friend from childhood, and a phenomenal guitar player, phenomenal. I love this guy. And yeah,
And I love this word.
yes. And aside from City was like experiment for me. It was like, yeah, it's some old material and old songs, and yeah, they're like Just Colors, but they're like Just Colors 1.5. And I thought, yeah, let's do them. That probably it's gonna be easy, and some covers, because well, we wanted to do some covers actually when we were banned, but well, things shifted, and I thought, yeah, it would be still cool to do them. And oh man, it was a good experiment. I think guys actually, it was like experiment for me if the guys could keep up with me, if they can keep up with like my attention span, like my need to do this music quickly, methodically. And yeah, I think they delivered. Like Grodek, which is Sebastian Ciciera, he actually did the drums for this in one day. So yeah, we booked the studio for 8 hours. He did it in like 6. So yeah, he's a beast. What can I say? And well, other guys also did phenomenal job. Alcu and Mateusz Balcerkiewicz. Well, even though like they are already much more like adult life, and like they, oh Jesus, they have so many things to do. And yeah, still they did what they could. They did an amazing job. And yeah, it's a cool material. Again, it's old. It's again some heavy metal. It's decent.
Well,
it's
not really on a whole EP, because we have a song like Lost in the Past, which isn't that old. Like
oh man, I
yeah.
mean, it's old and new at the same time. Actually,
because it wasn't played live with Komandos. That's my point of view. So.
Oh yeah, fair point. It wasn't played live. Yes, but it was written by Mateusz Zadroga, and it was written long time ago, like really long time ago. It was probably written somewhere near the Heart of Steel, and I think because Mateusz Zadroga is called right now Matt Beeve because of his band Lady Strange, and yeah, Beeve. Oh Jesus, he like written this all of his material, like Symphony of the Night, Heart of Steel, and Lost in the Past. It was written before I even began to write heavy metal for Commandos. So
okay, so let's listen to it. Let's break our talk because it's not a podcast. God damn it! I would love to do a podcast with you because it would be so much interesting stuff going there.
Yeah, I can't just shut up. Jesus Christ! Oh yeah.
But I'm so sad that I have to interrupt you because you're talking about so many interesting stuff, and I'd love to. I love hearing it. And
man.
All right, just play Lost in the Past.
Let's go.
Where also you can hear Jakub Vader from, for example, Soundforged. I don't know if you know this band. It was quite big in Poland some time ago. They also played some prog metal.
They're so good.
All right, so Lost in the Past for you from Aside from City. That was Aethernum and Lost in a Past. Okay, our time is now, let's say, and we have to go to the end. So at the end of everything, I'll ask you about your plans. What are your plans? Do you want to record new music, or do you want sometime return on stage and play live, maybe?
Oh man, playing live is cool, and I actually have bands for that. I have Ectopia and Havenward, and I don't think if I'll play live with my band, because it's really hard for me to combine playing bass and singing vocals at the same time. I know it's dumb and people do that, but I don't have a time and patience probably to really practice for that. And I have, of course, a shit ton of other bands to do my things. So yeah, I don't think if I'll play live some of this any of this material. Maybe if I'll sometimes guys from Havenward like to do some material from some solo projects of ours. For example, I play in Havenward with mentioned earlier Jakub Werder. And we played his material. We played one of his songs from his solo project on one of our live shows, and it was amazing. And if guys will be so keen to do that with me, yeah, I'll deliver. But for now, I probably won't play live. I'll probably stick to some studio work, studio recording, and I'm actually working on another album and piecing together material for a third one. I hope it will be released and made in 2022 or 2023. And second album, as I mentioned earlier, probably will be released at the end of this year. I really hope. And yeah, I'm just making music, and probably I'll do some music videos when I'll have time and patience to do that, some playthroughs, because well, I actually like playing those things on bass, and I think I actually returned to feeling confident and good about my first album, which I actually at first when I released it, I a little bit hated it. I thought it was really bad and meh, and right now I'm like, yeah, it's not bad. It's actually pretty okay. I would do something with it, and I'm actually doing something with it. So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, once again, thank you for joining me today. Thank you for talking about Aethernum, about Komandos stuff, about talking and dealing with all my difficulties with my software, with my microphone, and all of this stuff.
Dude, pleasure is all mine. Really, pleasure is all mine.
And to the point and to the end of this part, because the first hour was with Jerry of Aethernum. We've played only Aethernum songs from both Just Colors album and Aside from CD EP. And to end this 1 hour part, the second one would be with some other bands and some other songs. Let's end this part with The Priest, the opener of your Just Colors album.
Hell yeah, man, let's go.
I really like this track, one of the newest for me, because it was played live since, I don't know, 2018, and some songs that we've already played were played since 2016-17, so that's the main change for me. Alright, so once again, thank you very much for joining me today on Mordor Radio in Rock&Roll Nation, and that's The Priest from Aethernum. So see you soon, and hope to see you again sooner or later.
Thank you, see you soon.
Living his life with dimension, he's taken for evil and good, no matter the cost. Hundreds
Hi, hello in the second part of Rock&Roll Nation on Mordor Radio. For those who don't know me, I'm Matt, and the previous hour I spent with Jerry of Aethernum. I've played loads of his tracks and he talked a lot. So I think that the issue with the microphone is already fixed and I know the reason why it was this way. Let's listen to some other tunes from the other bands. Let's start with a band which is not Polish. They are from Ukraine, from Kiev. And I wanted to play it previously, but I didn't have enough time to play 2 songs from each band. And I wanted to leave it for today's broadcast, for today's live show. The band is called Sunrise. They are quite a big name when it comes to power metal in Ukraine. They've released 4 albums, full-length albums, plus EPs, singles, etc. And in 2016 they released an album called Absolute Clarity, and it was, I think, the breakthrough album for them, because they appeared in many countries in Central Europe and not only. They performed, for example, on Zgierz City of Power. It's a festival, free entry festival, which is focused on power metal, located near Łódź in Poland, in central Poland, and that's how I got to know them, and we've became friends. And later I've been to Ukraine on 2 shows. They played in February 2018. I went there with Lux Perpetua, the other great band from Poland. I really hope that I will be able to play it sooner or later. But now let's go back to Absolute Clarity. I will play the first track of this album, which is a solid power metal, and I really love this track. It's called Tower of Fear, so let's listen to Sunrise, Absolute Clarity from 2016, and Tower of Fear. Just for you on Mordor Radio. That was Sunrise and Tower of Fear, a great power metal song straight from Kiev, Ukraine. I love these guys and I really hope that I'll be able to meet them sooner or later, because they've just released a new album called Equilibria, and it's it's a great album, but still, for me, Absolute Clarity is way better, because I don't know, maybe it was it was my first Sunrise album, and I've also reviewed it on my Rock&Roll Nation channel, both in Polish, on my Maciek GMP40, Maciek GMP40 channel. So if you're from Poland, go to Maciek GMP40, and if you'd like to hear it in English, go to Rock&Roll Nation channel. In Rock&Roll Nation series, I have reviewed this album and played all of songs and samples of them. Okay, when it comes to the next band, I've seen them 2 or 3 times, but what's interesting, I've mentioned their vocalist. Their vocalist in the previous audition, in the previous show, because he is also a head of a CEO of Ossuary Records, which released, for example, Headed Towards Destruction by Rascal. His name is Mateusz Drzewicz, and one of his bands is Divine Whip. The band hails from Białystok. It's eastern Poland, near the Belarusian border, and the band went through loads of lineup and genre changes, because, as I remember correctly, they've started as a death black metal band, and later they went to more classical stuff, like Iron Maiden covers or so, during the era of debut EP Age of the Immortal. Later they got a new vocalist and released a debut full-length album in 2016, Tears of the Ages, and around 2017 they gained Mateusz Drzewicz, who also sings in bands like Hellhaim. I really hope to play them too, and Subterfuge, also great studio project, which sometimes performed live. To the point, Divine Whip just released a new full-length album already with Mateusz on vocals, and it's called The Omega Man, and it's a mix of traditional heavy metal, a little bit of extreme heavy metal, a little bit of progressive heavy metal in some point. It's a really good album, really enjoyable album, and I think I would play one of the bangers of this album, because the song I picked is really fast, really heavy, and it's just great for live shows. I mean, I've heard this song live before the album was released, and it kicked ass. Oh my god! The song is called Cold as Metal, and it's the opener of The Omega Man from 2020. So take a listen. Divine Whip, Cold as Metal. Oh, by the way, if you haven't joined my event, Rock&Roll Nation on Mordor Radio number 2, join it, because I've just recently posted a Spotify playlist where I put all songs that I've already played. So if you want to revise and replay some of the songs that were played today, go there and check my Spotify playlist, Rock&Roll Nation in Mordor Radio number 2. I'm not talking anymore right now, let's just play this awesome music. Divine Whip, Cold as Metal.
Shout out loud, no
That was Divine Whip and Coldest Metal from their newest album, The Omega Man. A great track and great album. If you want to purchase a physical copy, a CD or a vinyl, go to Osuari Records and purchase it right now, because Matt is just waiting to sell it to you. Alrighty, that were two new bands in Rock&Roll Nation on Mordor Radio. I will put more and more bands frequently. I really hope to do this. And by the way, if you want me to play some songs that I've played before, just write it in a private message on Rock&Roll Nation, or post it in the event Rock&Roll Nation, today Rock&Roll Nation live show, and I will do my best to not forget about it and play it one more time. Once again, I've picked the bands that I've already played previously, but I decided not to play the same songs, but to show you some other ones that are, I think that are still great to listen and great to play and great to talk about. The first in a line is one more time Rascal, my guys from Warsaw, which were signed to Oswald Records and just released their debut EP, Headed Towards Destruction, in February 2021. And last week I played 2 songs of this EP, and we were talking about Aethernum, and there were some songs that were more melancholic, a little bit slower, more advanced, and there were tempo changes a lot, and I've decided to stay with this more like prog metal stuff and decided to play for you one of the Rascal songs that are that kind of prog metal. It's not prog metal in 100% because they are closer to heavy speed metal genres, but I think After the Sunset is a little bit different song. I don't like it that much as Kingdom of Misery, Hold the Line, Headed Towards Destruction, Don't Look Back, etc. But I think After the Sunset is still a great song worth playing. So there's for you Rascal, After the Sunset, live on Mordor Radio.
Thank
That was Rascal and After the Sunset, one of the most advanced tracks from their discography, songography, and a really nice track. It has a lot of energy on live shows, and I think the live version is way better than the studio one. And check their EP, and if you want to order a Divine Whip album, be sure to check out Rascal also, because it's from the same guy, you know. Okay, one more time, something about a Nasty Crue, because as you know, and I've talked about it previously, the Rock&Roll Nation get the name, the live show get the name from a Nasty Crue song, Rock&Roll Nation, and the intro, the jingles are taken just from this song. And thanks guys for letting me do this, because I'd love to promote you, and I really love to use these jingles, use this song, because I think it's awesome to promote Polish music, and not only Polish music. And speaking of Nasty Crue, I've played mostly songs from Riots in Heaven from 2017, and I'd like to mention one song that wasn't played previously. It's called What Happens on Backstage Stays on Backstage. It's a single from this album. I really like it. It has a lot of energy live, and it has a featuring on it, because during this song you can clearly hear one more vocalist. It's Sebastian Stodolak from the band Screammaker, and the head of Polish memorial live shows, tributes to Ronnie James Dio. It's called King of Rock and Roll. It's a quite big event in Poland. Of course, the COVID stuff forced Sebastian to calm a little bit and do smaller shows and less shows, but before COVID we had like 10-11 shows spanned through whole Poland, and there they played like 3 hours of Ronnie James Dio music, and it was just awesome. And to the point, let's go back to the Nasty Crue. What Happens on Backstage Stays on Backstage. Really catchy, hard and heavy metal, glam metal, hair metal, however you want to call it, song from Riots in Heaven from 2017. Let's just listen. That was Nasty Crue and the track What Happens on Backstage Stays on a Backstage. That's kinda true, and a lot of truth when it comes to the 80s glam metal scene. Oh yeah, the 80s and the second part of the 80s was such a party on backstages of many bands like Poison, Cinderella, Britney Fox. I can talk and talk about glam metal because I'm really into it. But coming back to the underground music from the Poland, the second attempt of this group, and the second appearance, that would be much better word, the second appearance of this group in my live show, in my second episode, Bloody Mess. One more time I would talk about Bloody Mess because I think that this band is hell of a underrated, and it should be much more bigger when it comes to the Central Europe, Eastern Europe, Western Europe, because it's a really good European heavy metal with modern parts, with growls, with just great music. Of course, the album that I'm playing right now during my shows is already 3 years, but it has already 3 years, but the newest one will be of course much heavier and much more, let's say, sophisticated, but still Broken Things from 2018 is still worth listening because it has lots of great, catchy, funky, boogie I don't know, tracks and headbanging tracks at the same time. Let's listen to the other song from Broken Things from 2018, The Last Glimmer, one of my first favorite songs from Bloody Mess setlists. So hey, let's take a listen. Bloody Mess, album Broken Things, and the song Last Glimmer.
And the last glimmer sinks on the horizon, a putrid ooze begins to see. The wounded festers, and none are any wiser to why the Scot has reached so deep.
that was a Bloody Mess and Last Glimmer, a great track with really catchy chorus. I really like the song and I recommend listening to it one more time, two more times, multiple times on repeat. Okay, the next song I would like to play for you is also from a band I've mentioned and I played a week ago. And it's a hell of a band. One more time and one more friendly reminder, they are going and they are playing at Voodoo Club in Warsaw, Poland with Tankograd and Leash Eye during Clash of the Satans on 6th of August 2021, so be sure to check the event out, buy tickets, support underground bands. If you are from Warsaw or if you are able to come to Warsaw and see the Kroach with Lizai and Tankograd, do this, because the Kroach are playing really well and Lizai is also worth recommending. I have to talk with these guys because I would also like to play them for you here. It's more like sludge metal, southern heavy metal. If you like Chaos, for example, you'd probably like Lishai. But speaking of the Kroach, who would open the whole event, the Clash of the Satans, now I would like to play you a single of their latest album. It's called End of a Hollow, and it also has a special featuring because you can hear some solos made by and played by Robert Kazanowski. He is well known for playing guitar in the band Nocny Kochanek. I think it's not that well known because outside Poland, because they play let's say parody metal, parody heavy metal. The music is really serious, but the lyrics aren't that serious. But if you heard about their previous incarnation, Night Mistress, you would probably know Kazan. And the track is a single by the Kroach, as I said before, End of a Hollow, just for you, right now. That was sorry for that. That was my last attempt to play my jingle plus background music for today, but something is not working. Sorry for that. I have no idea what happened and why it's not working. Alright, that was The Kroach and Overhollow featuring Robert Kazanowski from Nocny Kochanek, Night Mistress, etc. And now I have something new, because I've prepared it during the last song. I've mentioned Mateusz Drzewicz, who is a CEO of Oswary Records, who sing in Divine Whip, for example. I've also mentioned the second band, the main band of Mateusz, which is called Hellhaim. This band was started somewhere in 2008-2009 and by two friends who played in various Polish bands in the 80s, in the 90s. The band like Holocaust, not this new album Holocaust, but Polish Holocaust, for example, and they decided to reunite by luck, because they were giving their guitars to the repair, and they just met and decided, hey, why don't we play one more time together? And that's how Hellhaim began. And they have the EP, the debut EP in their discography, and the full-length album from 2017. It was recorded as a homemade one. Everything was recorded by the band and everything was mixed by the band. And yes, it sounds raw, really raw, but I think it's worth recommending, and it's still kick-ass extreme heavy metal music. I would play one of the most aggressive songs, as it's Mordor Radio, and it's quite weird that I'm playing some like glam metal, but whatever, I like it really much, and I'd like to share some lighter stuff also. Not only this heavy metal, extreme metal, satanic black metal bands. I also listen to thrash metal, of course, and some heavier stuff, and this would be one of this much more heavier stuff than for example, Nasty Crue. So let's listen to Hellhaim and one of their songs from Slaves of Apocalypse album from 2017. The song is called Decimator. That was Hellhaim and their track from Slaves of Apocalypse album from 2017, Decimator. A really heavy track, but when I want to, I don't know, to show my hard feelings, to release my anger, I put Hellhaim album and it really calmed me down in some way. Alright, we have 10 p.m. already, so thank you very much for today. It was a pleasure to have Jerry with me. Once again, sorry for all technical difficulties I had today. I have to work it out through this week to have it well done on Wednesday next week, and I really hope we would meet again and listen to some nice tracks. And what can I say more? Thank you once again. If you're listening on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to support us, Mordor Radio, like our Facebook page, follow us everywhere, and just be with us and listen to the other guys, because they also have lots of things to play and lots of things to say about what they are playing. So once again, thank you very much. Thanks Mordor Radio, thanks guys, and we are ending with Roadhog and their Chiller track from The Oppressors from 2017 also, and they played this song live, and I think it's well done, calm song. It's called Black Moon, and that's the last track of Rock&Roll Nation in Mordor Radio today. Thank you very much one more time, and see you soon. And don't forget about Rock&Roll Nation Express, which appears on my YouTube channel, the quick reviews of many great albums I have in collection. So this one, Rock&Roll Nation Express on Saturday, and Rock&Roll Nation in Mordor Radio live on Wednesday. See you soon. See ya. And Roadhog, Black Moon for you.
radio in your internet.